Iran just made a terrifying threat. A great surprise will soon occur, one that the world will remember for centuries. As the strikes with Israel continue, everyone's asking the same question. How close is Iran to building a nuclear bomb? Israel thinks it's just around the corner. They've been sabotaging Iran's nuclear sites for years with things like cyber hacking, assassinations, airstrikes deep within Iranian territory. But for Iran, these latest strikes were a step too far. And if all of this literally blows up, the US could jump in to defend Israel.
Do you have any reason to believe the Israelis are going to slow down, or are they going to hit the accelerator right now because they've got superiority?
Yeah, over the next 2 days, right? You're going to find out.
But here's the challenge. Will all this pressure stop Iran from going nuclear or encourage it? Iran does not currently have a nuclear bomb. That's extremely well documented. But Benjamin Netanyahu claimed it was secretly plotting to build one, hence the strikes by Israel.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival.
Experts don't necessarily buy this. Only in March, intelligence agents reconfirmed that Iran was not actively building a nuclear weapon. But the problem is they have everything else. For the past few years, Iran has been enriching its uranium to 60%, which is its highest level ever. It knows exactly how to weaponize it, and it has missiles that could deliver a nuke if needed. These here are Iran's two major enrichment sites. Inside them are rows of spinning machines called centrifuges, which spin uranium gas super fast to enrich it. Uranium needs to hit about 90% purity to be considered weapons grade. So what's stopping them? Officially, that would be this, the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, or NPT. Iran is one of this treaty's 191 signatories who agreed never to build or buy nuclear weapons, under the shared mission of basically keeping the planet alive. Now, there's been no evidence of Iran actually producing nuclear weapons in the last decade, but it has been enriching uranium to higher levels. Iran also received recent shipments of ballistic rocket fuel from China and tech support from Russia. In other words, Iran is now a lot closer than it was to being able to build a nuclear bomb. We know that because of this, the International Atomic Energy Agency. These guys regularly pop into Iran's enrichment sites to measure their uranium levels and monitor equipment. But with Israel's strikes, the system is breaking down. Iran's stockpile of uranium will be unaccounted for. Some of those stocks are missing or damaged. Iran could now theoretically enrich what's left and blame the strikes for the missing parts, and nobody could prove otherwise. Just before the strikes, for the first time in 20 years, authorities officially declared that Iran was in breach of its nuclear obligations. Now, that's not why Israel attacked Iran, but it made a good excuse, a cover story, if you will, for Israel to strike. And since those strikes, Iran has threatened to pull out of the NPT. Now, this is totally fair game under the agreement. The treaty says any country can withdraw if they feel threatened by extraordinary events. North Korea is the only country to date that's ever withdrawn. If Iran leaves, the country has no formal obligation to hold back on its nuclear weapons. And then it's just a question of how quickly they can build that bomb. Now, this wouldn't happen overnight. Nuclear experts have differing opinions on this. Some say it would take Iran years to finish and test a working bomb. Others say it could be done in a matter of weeks. If Iran is determined to do this though, the only other thing that might stop them is that this is the ultimate red line. Cross that and they risk instant retaliation by Israel and maybe even the US.
I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it, I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do.
Now, Donald Trump, at least publicly, says he's willing to go there. This is in no one's interest, including America's, but Trump says he'll do that if that's what it takes to destroy Iran's nuclear program.
Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death.
So until then, Iran's strategy is to stay just below that line. It's an unpredictable game of chess. They may not have a fully functioning bomb today, but there's no telling just how close they are.